Good afternoon, Fort Atkinson High School. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for the announcements. Juniors and seniors, the monthly calendar for September has been posted to the Fort Atkinson High School website under the Pupil Services link. Each month, the Pupil Services staff prepares a monthly calendar of activities, scholarships, and opportunities to attend workshops, college visits, camps, and conferences. Stop in Pupil Services for a copy, but since you can't do that, make sure to visit our website. Entries for the VFW Voice of Democracy contest are due to Pupil Services by 3 p.m. on Thursday, October 29th. This contest is open for students in grades 9 through 12. One Fort Atkinson student will be awarded $250 scholarship with the opportunity to move on to the state and national level, with the top scholarship being $30,000. Entrants need to record a 3 to 5 minute spoken essay on "Is This the Country the Founders Envisioned?" Applications for those interested in attending the spring semester Start College Now or Early College Credit Program classes are also available in Pupil Services. They are due by September 25th, so please make sure to turn those applications in. And if you have any questions about those college level classes, please see Mrs. Strong. Obviously, since you're watching this instead of listening to me over our PA system, things are a tad bit different starting this week. Hopefully you had a chance to read through my emails to all students and families, but I also wanted to make sure to remind you of a couple more important details. Numero uno. Right now, we're anticipating the ability to possibly return on October 5th. This may or may not happen, but one way or the other, you need to make sure you're preparing for whatever comes our way. If we do come back and you're going to return in person, there will again need to be important processes in place to do so safely for everybody's sake. You know darn well we all would much rather have you here in person teaching you what you need to know to get ready for what's next, but if we can't do it in a safe situation, we can't, and we shouldn't. Reminder, we currently have materials pickup scheduled for Thursdays. We extended yesterday's a little bit longer to make sure everyone had time to get what they needed, but if you weren't able to make it, please make sure to check with your teachers for specifics and work with them or Mr. Gefford and Mr. Rousseau to set up a time to pick up what you need. Depending on what all needs to go out next Thursday, I'll let everyone know if the times need to change from the 2 to 7 p.m. that we had this week. Und drei, Check your email. As it was in the spring, this is the primary way we're going to notify you and your families of information. We'll have large informational items and group information posted on the high school webpage and social media, but for individual information, you need to make sure you are regularly checking your email. Quattro. There is this thing out there called virtual etiquette. Each of you needs to be very aware that expectations of the virtual world should mirror the expectations of the in-person school world. In other words, you need to dress appropriately as you would for school. And whatever shows up on your screen for your classes also needs to be appropriate and not a distraction. I'll be sending out a Google Doc to your school emails today with some other guidelines. These need to be followed or consequences may follow. Finally and last, but most certainly not least, you need to remember attendance and grading is mandatory. You need to participate and you need to keep working hard on completing the work that's being assigned. All of this contributes towards not only you being able to graduate, but also to the process of getting you ready for what's next. Make sure you're showing up to your Zoom classes on time, doing the work assigned, and taking care of business on screen and off to make sure you're all set. Listen, we know it hasn't been easy on all of you. Just know you're not alone. You have all of us here, in addition to your families and friends. We're all going through it together, and I don't know any one of us that enjoys it, that's for sure. I need you to hang in there, work as hard as you can, and remember, this too shall pass. At some point, you'll be the ones fixing a lot of the things going on and improving on the great things that are still happening out there in the world. Don't let the negatives in the world outshadow the great things in your life that you see, and keep on TCB and DYJs. And now the happy birthdays for this week. Eli Schweiger, Braden Church, Hildy Rue, Brianna Will, Quinn Abbott, Braden Traxler, Elijah Burhams, Aiden Lukey, Kerrigan Walter, Thomas Whitkins, Kaylin Anderson, Noah Horwath, Nolan Jensen, Eliana Walton, Quadri Williams, Will Jancy, Cody Paulson, Anders Amundsen, Zachary Davis, Caden Marinez. Happy birthday to all of you in this great September. With winter showing up, I thought this might be a good time to share a little anecdote with you. There are people in the world, especially in Wisconsin, that will curse the snow as it falls. They hate everything about it, but still don't do anything to change their personal situation so they don't have to experience it every winter. So they begrudgingly shovel their walks and complain to everyone they see about it, regardless if the other person wants to hear it or not. They don't move where there is no snow, but when there is no snow or we're in a different season, they are fairly content. There are also other people in the world that love the snow. The thought of seeing it, spending time in it, and handling all of the issues that come with it, whether it's shoveling or skiing or snowmobiling, snow in the cold makes them happy. But when there is no snow, they are sullen and sad, and like the others, they don't move somewhere or do something different to change their personal situation to be around it more often. And still there are others that realize snow is part of life. And then whether it makes them happy or sad is irrelevant because it's not something in their control, and that it eventually might pass. They might shovel or try and find ways to enjoy it or maybe even go out of their way to avoid it. There are issues that arise, these people just find ways to deal with what comes their way. They might even try to improve their lives when snow happens. For example, rather than taking a shovel out to clear a humongous driveway and or sidewalk, maybe they find a way to get a snowblower. Or maybe if it's too much, they find a way to get a plow or some other means to make it less difficult to deal with. Or maybe they work together with others to find a better solution than what they have in some sort of positive, collaborative manner. With what all of us are going through, and like you've heard me say before, it's all about the choices we make. Do we choose to complain about things that are out of our control? Do we find ways to enjoy what we have no matter what it is? Or do we just realize that no matter what, things happen that are out of our control and we just need to find the best ways possible to deal with them and move on with our lives? Each of us have the choice whether or not we let them impact us, but more so, each one of us are in control of how we deal with them. Sometimes we choose whether we want to be happy or sad, or positive or negative. Which one are you? With something to think about, this is Mr. Halvorsen. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.